YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to Howell's Build a Home. So my wife and I were in the process of building a dream home, and like I mentioned in the last video, just wanted to share a few things and tips and tricks that we've found as we have done some work around the property and getting things ready for the build. Just did a review on a trailer sitting off to my left. Really like this trailer, but one thing that we use, or at least I use, a couple times a month is a chainsaw. So wanted to review this chainsaw pretty quickly. I do have the Milwaukee electric chainsaw. I think it's a great saw for a lot of homeowners. The negative is if you're cutting something big, especially like a hardwood, it just doesn't have enough battery power and juice and torque to like cut an 18-inch tree or a 12-inch hardwood. It can do it, it can cut it down, but if you're cutting it into firewood, I definitely would recommend a gas chainsaw. You probably hear the big names. You have Steel, and you have Husqvarna. Like Husky's a great brand. Steel chainsaws are great, but they're super expensive. So wanted to share one that I've found that has done pretty good work for me, and it's super cheap. So this is the Proyama 68cc saw. I bought this off of Amazon. It was about 200 bucks, maybe give or take, and it's been great. I bought this because I just needed to cut some trees down and didn't feel like spending $1,000 on a Steel professional chainsaw. It comes with a 20-inch bar and a 24-inch bar. Comes with chains for both of those. Comes with a bar for transportation. It's 68cc, so it's a pretty powerful saw, and it's been a pretty good job, or it's done a pretty good job for me. I like how it's super easy to operate. I'm not big into chainsaw specs. I'm not an arborist or anything of that nature. I have used some of the nicer saws. This one doesn't have quite the amount of torque as some of the bigger saws from the two big names, but then again, it's a quarter of the cost. The bar and the chain that come with it, I think are okay. I would invest in a electric chain sharpener. So I have one of those, and I definitely want to keep this chain sharp. It's not the strongest chain in the world. Like, you could definitely upgrade the chain if you are cutting a lot of hardwoods or cutting a lot of stuff. I don't use it a lot. Most homeowners don't use their chainsaw a lot, and I think this is a good option. I think it's a good option really because it's cheap. I mean, if you buy a Steel chainsaw, use it 2 times a year, and then something goes wrong with it, you got to spend 150, 200 bucks just to get it retuned. If this thing doesn't work, just buy a new one. It's matter of fact as that. Some of the components are a little cheap, as you can probably assume. So like all the guards and plastic pieces on the outside aren't super nice. So you have your safety engage here, your throttle. This part here is pretty cheap, so we'll see how long that lasts. But all in all, I'd buy it again for sure. Again, this isn't like a super in-depth review of this saw, but I have cut a lot of stuff with it. So today I'll show you a little bit of what I've cut. So this entire trailer bed was cut today. So this is from 3 logs that I cut a few months ago, and they've just been sitting around and haven't had time to cut them, but did today, So there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There are 21 logs here, and they're roughly anywhere from like 16 to 20 inches in diameter. I use a 24-inch bar to cut these. These are all hardwoods. The saw had no trouble cutting these whatsoever. It's pretty good on fuel. It's not as good on fuel as some of the nicer saws. This took 1 tank of fuel inside of the saw itself. But if this is all you're doing, is cutting firewood a couple times a month, or like once a month, or you need to cut down 1 tree, great saw. If you're doing this every day, or you're a professional arborist, I think you should invest in a better saw. But it does a job for me. It should probably do the job for you. Would I buy it again? Yes. I'd buy it again in a heartbeat, because it's cheap, it's easy to replace, it's easy to work on. So if something goes wrong, I could take it apart, I can work on it, and if I can't fix it, then I'll throw it away and I'll get a new one, because it's that cheap and it's that inexpensive. And that's why I think it's probably one of the better saws for new homeowners to buy. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below like what you think of doing product reviews every now and then. I'll leave a link to this saw in the description below, just in case you want to check it out. And that's about it. So we'll catch you next time, and hopefully you can turn your house into a home. Appreciate you. Bye.